Hey everybody, Tiff here. Just wanted to let you know that Lindsay and I are going to be taking the next 2 weeks off due to the holiday and with school almost over. So we wanted to give you a few encore presentations. With the V&Ls right around the corner, we thought that this week would be a great time to replay our Jordan Thompson interview. So here it is. Enjoy, and we'll see you guys in the middle of June. Welcome to the Side Out Society podcast, your go-to place for the culture, stories, and communities surrounding women's volleyball. I'm one of your hosts, Tiff Oshinsky.
And I'm Lindsay Harwood, your other host.
All right, Lindsay, what is something that you've gotten better at as you've gotten older?
I mean, we were just joking before we recorded about how good our volleyball skills have gotten and our reaction time. So definitely my volleyball skills. I'd also say just like patience with myself and acceptance and just like not sweating the big stuff and giving myself a little more grace in my life.
It's so funny you say that. I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, I am so over what people care about me now that it never happened before. But now that I'm older, I'm like, I'm over it. I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah. I wish my younger self had the confidence of just saying that and not really caring and just like living my authentic self like I do now. I'm like, this is me. It's all good. Yeah,
exactly. But yes, number two for me, definitely volleyball skills. My volleyball skills have gotten so much better as I've aged, and I don't know why. But I will say that my skills have not evolved with age like our guest today, who constantly improves year in and year out. A native of Edina, Minnesota, who famously flew under the radar as a recruit, she headed to the University of Cincinnati and promptly broke the NCAA record for kills in a match with 50, which, for those counting at home, is about a season's worth of highlights in one night. Since then, she's become a two-time Olympic medalist, including a historic gold in the 2020 Tokyo Games, and one of the most feared opposites on the planet. After years of dominating the top leagues in Turkey and Italy, she brought that scoring machine energy back to the States. She was absolutely lights out in her inaugural Athletes Unlimited season, where she sat at the top of the leaderboard the entire time, and then immediately followed it up by leading Love Houston as the league's #1 point scorer and kill leader. She's a teammate who inspires the next generation of pros, and a Team USA staple who is currently the top seed in every defender's nightmares. She is proof that elite talent doesn't just stay consistent, it evolves. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the woman who is truly like a fine wine and only getting better with age, Jordan Thompson.
Yay.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
We're so excited to have you, Jordan. And seriously, I'm like being super honest. I know you're only 28. You're very young still. Mm-hmm. But every year I'm just more and more impressed with your volleyball skills. I want to start, like, how do you do it?
I mean, honestly, I feel like it's so crazy because I think back to when I first went overseas and started playing professional volleyball, and there was a lot of like older women playing, and I'm just like, okay, I'm a bit younger, maybe I have a little bit more energy, maybe I can like try to jump a little higher, but they were just schooling me. And I was like, there is something about just the experience that comes with age that can't be taught. And it just really takes that time to develop. And so I feel like I'm sort of starting to come into my own as a player, just in terms of like, okay, I've played the game for a while now. I've seen a lot of volleyball be played. And I think that experience is sort of starting to like settle into my play itself. So honestly, I think that is really like been the key for me.
Over the summer, when you were playing with AU and even all during the love season, like Tiff and I would just text each other, be like, of course, Jordan's still at the top of the league. Like, you were at the top of AU. We're like, let me guess, Jordan again. And it's like just so unbelievably dominant in a field of incredibly talented women and athletes. So it's just so impressive. And I just got to say, like, you're just so fun to watch. Like, just like the power that you have, the grace you have, the intelligence. We're such big fans, have been for a while. So we're so happy you're here and able to talk with us today.
That means a lot. Thank you so much.
Yeah, seriously. I read that you are actually like very big with recovery and watching game tape and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Has that played into your role of just your confidence and everything? And where did that all like come from? Where did that habit come from?
Yeah, definitely. I think, honestly, the turning point for me where film became really important was in college when I tore my UCL in my elbow. I had to get surgery. I was out for 10 months, and I would just go on volumetrics and like watch all of these pro games overseas. And so it was really weird because then I got overseas and I was playing with these girls that I had been watching like while I was in college, and I felt kind of like a creeper, but at the same time I was like fangirling. I was like, oh my gosh, like this is so cool. But I think it's really been helpful for me to see not only my own film, but other people in my position who I'm like, okay, I know they do these skills really well. Like, how are they doing it? What does it look like? And can I sort of pick pieces from other people's game and implement that into my own? And I think that's been really beneficial and just really unique to, even if I don't get the chance to like play with certain players on the same team, like I can still learn from them in a way. And they're not even like, they're just out there playing and, you know, doing their thing, but I'm still learning so much. And I think that's been really valuable.
Who is someone that you were really watching and learning from? Sorry, Lindsay.
No, that was my question. We have the same brain.
Bella Hawk and Agonu, they huge. I mean, watching them compete is so much fun. And even like playing against Bella, like on my pro teams, I couldn't even be mad at her because I'm like, you are so incredible at what you do and you're just such a great person. I'm like cheering for you, but at the same time, like it's just, I don't know. I love players like that where I'm like, you're a really amazing human off the court and you're just a baller. So.
Oh my God. I can only imagine. I feel like, you know, so when I was growing up, I'm a lib, I'm 5'3", but you know, libs weren't a thing when I was growing up. It was just like a defensive specialist. So to me, instead, Logan Tom was like my hero. Mm-hmm. And I would watch her because I was an outside hitter in high school. So I'm like, I'm going to be like Logan Tom and hit as hard as her, even though I didn't really play her position. I was just like, she was like my idol. When you were growing up, like besides the players that you were watching on tape, that you eventually got to play with and against, who were you looking up to? Like, who were your volleyball idols?
You know, I don't think I knew a ton about professional volleyball and like even the national team. I remember watching some of I want to say like maybe the Rio Olympics, but I wasn't super familiar with like professional volleyball. And so it was really interesting because I think there was this evolution of like, I'm super unaware. And then like I get to college and I'm sort of like getting exposed to, like, I remember Kelsey Robinson Cook. She came to visit Cincinnati because she was friends with one of our assistant coaches. And she was the first person to sort of like let me into the world of professional volleyball and national team. And so I think at that point I started following more, and like I watched Kelsey a lot and I just really admired how, like, even though she wasn't my position, she just has this like grit and eye for the game. And I really admire that. And again, just like another amazing human. And so I think she's definitely someone that I looked up to a lot, especially when I started in college.
She's so good.
Yeah, I love her.
And she like just had a baby or is about to, just had a baby.
Yeah.
Did she have her baby yet? I can't remember. I know Justine did.
Yeah, she did. I don't know if it's like really public knowledge, but she was posting about it. Like,
she was posting like coming. The day of, like, come on, baby, let's go.
Yeah, watching her, I remember like, especially, well, obviously last year in the first season of Love, because she didn't play this season. Mm-hmm. I just remember as, again, a libero defensive specialist, like her defense as an outside hitter is just so fun to watch. Like she's all over the place. And again, I'm just like, you don't play my position, but I am in awe over you. And I want to play like you.
Yes, I love that. Like there's something about players who are just so passionate and so good at what they do. And I feel like it's so inspiring. Like even there are setters who are just like unreal. And I'm like, I just love watching you. Like, it's so inspiring because you're just such a baller. And I think, again, like you're saying, even if it's not the same position, it's really cool to see people really excel at what they're doing.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's how I feel sitting at home watching you. And, you know, it's fun to have you say the same thing about other players. You know, it's so when you went to Cincinnati, went to college, and now the pros, like you've been an opposite hitter. You've been such a dominant opposite hitter. And you mentioned like watching game tape and wanting to work on things. Like, I know that your journey has evolved and like your confidence has evolved. Like what has helped you like gain that confidence and to become like the go-to hitter to score a point? Like you are this point scoring, you're just so dominant throughout your career. Like what has helped you get there? Like, well, there's like physically, mentally, like the mental game behind it.
Yeah, I feel like people, especially like young girls who are starting volleyball or sports in general, they ask about confidence a lot. And I wish I could say that like I had all this confidence when I first started and, it's always been that way and stuff. But I think what's really helped me is like when I don't have confidence in myself, or maybe I didn't realize my potential, especially when I was younger and just starting off, is like I had such amazing people in my life who they really showed the belief that they had in me and the confidence that they had in me. And I think I kind of like clung on to that until I had that confidence in myself. But even there are times where it's like, okay, with anything you do in life, there are going to be ups and downs. And I think that's been the same with my career. And I've always been able to gain my confidence back, I think, through my teammates and just like those anchors in my life who have just continued to like encourage me and speak life into me and remind me of who I am, what I've done, the things I've accomplished, and the work that I've put in. And so I think like, especially in the tough moments and like in a game, I try to go back to those people and their words. And then also just remembering like, okay, at this point I've put in so much time and I have enough experience to have confidence in like, okay, I can just trust my body and I can trust my training and what I've done in the past. And so like, obviously there are always going to be the ups and downs, but I think those are the key things that have helped me to grow my confidence and also keep it in the tough moments.
Yeah, and I feel like with what you've gained, I mean, I know that you are now working with a lot of the youth players and you have your UA Next camp and you're instilling like all this growth and confidence and, volleyball skills, obviously it's a volleyball camp, into these young players. But like, I'm fascinated by your story in general because where you are today, you are, like I said, one of the most dominant opposite hitters on this planet. But when you started late in the sport, you played basketball before, and you were not a 5-star recruit. I feel like it must have been so weird for you in a way, as like being such a great athlete in general. Your dad was a basketball player, your uncle, a NFL Hall of Famer, like did you go through like, what am I doing at all when you were playing? Or did you I know you said that the people around you really helped you, but like, what were you thinking?
I feel like I've always kind of had this underdog mentality. Like, of course, I come from a very athletic family, so I think that's obviously helpful, like being tall and thinking like, okay, I can use that to my advantage. But it's interesting, like, even now, I think I've kept this underdog mentality in a sense. And I think that's really propelled me in my career because I never feel like safe or like comfortable, but like in a healthy way. And so recognizing that I'm working towards just this idea of like, let's see how good I can get. I think that's in a way like given me confidence because I knew, like, people ask me all the time, like, well, why didn't you go to like, a volleyball school, or even like, why didn't you go to Minnesota? They're really good at volleyball. And I was like, they did not recruit me. Like, I was bad in high school. Like, okay, yes, I had maybe a lot of potential, but I was still like growing into my body and figuring out how to play the sport. And I think that's okay. Like there's so many kids, starting sports so young nowadays. And there's this pressure of like, oh, I have to be really good at a young age and get recruited. And it's like, there's beauty in all the different journeys and paths that you can take to greatness and to achieving your goals. And so I think I felt really secure in the path that I was taking. And for me, it didn't bother me necessarily that like, okay, I knew there were other girls around me who were really talented and like, they're getting recruited by Penn State and Texas and Nebraska. But I was like, this is my path, this is my journey, and that's okay. Like, I can still have my goals. And I was really lucky to have amazing people along the way who like gave me opportunities and allowed me to create this path for myself. And I think, just the awareness of like, it's okay if your journey doesn't look the same. Like, there are different paths to achieving your goals.
No, it's so beautiful. And now you're at the top.
I know. say, so I coach youth players. I coach both like some middle schoolers and high schoolers. And a lot of the middle schoolers in my area, because we don't really have volleyball that much in my area, so I'm trying to like help it get bigger.
Yeah.
And parents keep on telling me like my daughter is afraid because she doesn't think she's tall enough or good enough, or you know, like there's all these girls who are already playing club. And I'm just like thinking to myself, I'm like, Jordan Thompson was I think in high school you were like the 2011 most improved player, and now look at you. I'm like, there's a good path for everybody if you have that like mentality of wanting to succeed, wanting to learn, and the confidence in yourself. But it is so hard to teach young girls this.
And I think especially nowadays, like with social media, you're seeing everybody's highlight reels and, oh, I'm going to this, college camp and I'm doing this. And I think it is super easy, especially nowadays, to get distracted or like the comparison game. And so I think that's like something I really try to emphasize, especially when I do these camps with Under Armour, because there's just a range of, I think, skill level and experience, and girls who maybe just play high school and girls who also play club, and that's intentional. And so I really try to emphasize like your path. There's not just one path that you have to take. It can look many different ways, and to try not to get caught up in that comparison game, because I think it's really easy, especially for kids growing up now.
No, it's hard for us as adults, and especially for younger girls in this space. And you're right, it's just such a highlight reel, and to have to hear that message from someone like you, I think is so beneficial. So it's amazing what you're doing.
Thank you.
Yeah. Do you, when it comes to like the love season and playing in the States now, have you found that a lot more girls are more interested in working with you and trying to come to your camp, or just more interested in the sport in general now that the sport is in the States?
Yes, for sure. And I think it's been really cool to see. And not only just the young girls, but also their parents and families, like to see, especially in Houston, like seeing all of our fans in the turnout that we've had the past 2 seasons, like the growth has been, I think, beautiful to watch. And even like there are kids there was this one kid and he brings his mom and some friends to every single game. And I remember one time he's like, oh, I'm not going to be able to make the game this week. We're going to I think it was like a WWE like event or something like that. But I was just like, I get to see this kid in the stands and like him and his family, and they're so excited, and they could spend their time and money somewhere else, but they choose to come to our games and they have fun and they really enjoy the experience. And I think being able to make those connections is something that just makes it even more worth it for me to come home and play in the States and play in League One. And it's just been really fulfilling because I am super passionate about bridging that gap between, youth and college and pro. And so I think that's just like another positive, is like being able to create those connections and those relationships with the fans who come out and watch us.
Lindsay and I both have young daughters, and we keep on saying there needs to be a love team in the New York area because that's where we live. Yes. And I feel like as a founding athlete, maybe you can help get this coming so that we can have a team that we can bring our daughters to.
That would be so cool. Oh my gosh.
No, but it's like such a good point about like from the club level to the to college to pro. And like, that's what, even before Tiff and I started this whole venture, like that's what we wanted to do. We're like, there's so many fans, so many girls playing at club, so many fans of college volleyball. Mm-hmm. A lot of people don't even know about the pro leagues abroad and now in the United States. So we're like, we want to like really raise the profile of all these like incredible athletes. And like, how are you feeling like compared like playing abroad versus the United States? I feel like the leagues abroad are so established and they have such huge fan base. Like, have you noticed the increase, obviously, with your fans in Houston? Like, how do you feel? Like, what can we be doing more? Like, how have you noticed if like the difference of being abroad versus home? And like, what can we do more of in the United States that really worked over there to help build the sport?
Yeah, I think what was really special about playing overseas is just the fan base is so like the fan bases are historic. Like the clubs are historic. They've been there for years. The fan bases, people, it's like different generations of their families have grown up being fans of the clubs there. And I think that's really cool to see. And I think I'm really excited for the day where we see people who are saying like, oh, I used to come to your games as a kid and now I'm bringing my kids. And when you really make it a family thing and it's something that is like almost like a little legacy in your own family. But I think just continuing to spread the word and like even, I don't know, like whenever me, Maddie, and Micah would go out in Houston and maybe go to like a coffee shop or a new restaurant, people would naturally ask us like, oh, are you guys, basketball players, volleyball players? And so it would be a chance for us to share about the league and, what we're doing and how we're trying to help grow the game. And even those small interactions within our communities, I think made a big difference. And it's cool because, I met somebody in the grocery store one day last season, and then they came out to the next game and I got to see them in the stands and say hi after. And I was just like, it's crazy to see how those conversations come to fruition. And you just, it doesn't have to be these grand gestures of, oh, I'm getting my entire club team and every single parent to come out. But like, oh, maybe I'm just sharing about how I had fun at the game and inviting a friend or two. And so I think it doesn't necessarily have to be these grand gestures, but just these little conversations here or there throughout your own individual community. And I think that will continue to help, bring fans in, raise awareness about what we're doing, and ultimately grow the sport.
I'm so glad you're spreading the volleyball gospel, but I'm just thinking to myself, if Lindsay and I were in a coffee shop and you, Maddie Kingdon-Rischel, and Micah Hancock came into the coffee shop, we'd both be like, oh my God. We'd feel like we're not worthy. I will say this year, I know the inaugural season for Love, you guys were kind of, it was a love fest. Like there was a lot of girl power and empowerment and, exciting volleyball. And I feel like this season though, you're starting to get a little bit more of like the more extreme passion, a little bit more chirpiness, a little bit more of that going on. And I feel like that is so good for the sport because people love that competition and stuff. And, your reactions to kills with your like, flex. Is this something that like you always used to do, or is this like a new kill celebration for you? Like I love it.
I have no idea where that came from, but it was just like this natural response. Like I was just getting so hyped this season, and I feel like it came out of nowhere. It was unplanned, but then it just kind of like stuck, and I was like, if this is how I'm going to show my passion and like excitement for the game, then like cool. But I think it's been really cool to see, like, obviously it's so cool to play with and against our friends and people we've competed against for so long, whether that's been in college or overseas. But I think now that we're getting further into the league and having these kind of rivalries, we have our Texas showdown. It's so much fun because obviously like we're competitors. We want to compete. We want to, be aggressive and have fun and get after it. And so I think having that part of the game now become more integrated into our league. And I think as we continue to get further into each season and year after year, those kind of like rivalries will continue to grow, and that competitive, like, I feel like the fight is on. Like we're really competing for something, everybody's going to want to go after the top teams. And I think that competitive part, like you're saying, is fun for other people to watch. And it's been really funny to also hear other people's reactions and just like what they love, like how like, oh yeah, we love when you guys, get after the ref or whatever. And it's just like, yeah, like sometimes after games, I'm like, okay, I need to tone it down. And people are like, no, we love it.
So is there someone when you're hitting and you got to kill like someone across the net that you're just like makes you extra excited that you just got the point? Like who's like a really good rival that like pumps you up to actually get the point?
Oh, that's a great question. I feel like if I can get a kill against like a solid middle blocker, if I can sneak one in sharp cross against them, like Molly McCage, she's a phenomenal blocker, also a good friend of mine, but like I get really hyped because I'm like, yes, like I snuck it past her, like I feel like I did something really cool.
Especially with our friends. I'm like extra competitive with our friends. It makes it a little sweeter.
Yeah.
I'll say. I remember actually last year, I know you have like the Texas showdown between you guys and Austin, but last year, and I thought this year too, like you and Atlanta have you're so competitive against each other. I feel like every match last year, you guys went to 5 sets, and this year it was also so intense. And then you're both like the top 2 teams both seasons. So to me, like, I know you got the in-state rivalry, but to me, Atlanta is your rival.
Yes, I love playing them, and I feel like we match up well against them in the sense of like they really, really challenge us, and I think it makes for fun volleyball. And also I love their coach, Paulo Coco. He is just a hoot, and I feel like him and I are always staring at each other too. I'm like, why are you doing that? So
well, I feel like you really must know, like, going into the game, like their game plan is like, let's stop Jordan Thompson. And so your reaction to that, like, I guess while you're playing, like even when you're mid-air, like you see the block, you see where to go, like what's your mentality? Like, do things just slow down and you can see the court and the hands really clearly? Like, what's going through your head?
Yeah, I feel like, well, before the play even begins, I want to know, okay, like, where are my targets? Like, if I can, choose my perfect spot on the court of where I'd want to attack, where is that? And then who are my blockers? And so I feel like there's this whole list of things or like information that I go through ahead of the play. And then in the moment, it's like, okay, what's the block doing? Can I see the defense around the block? And then just trying to make good decisions, because especially with Atlanta, like their block is really good and solid, and, definitely makes it difficult. And obviously their libero, is phenomenal. And sometimes I'm just like, how do you know I'm going to do what I'm doing before I know? But it makes it fun, because then I feel like I have to get more creative.
She is a phenomenal libero. I was just thinking, like, if I were you, I mean, I know you played Minami Kojima in the playoffs, but to me, like, to get a kill off of her would be like my dream.
Yes, because she makes it look so easy. And I'm just like, we talk about it too. We're like, okay, don't play Pepper with Minami. Like, keep it away from her. Like, she's just so good. And it's like, you could hit it as hard as you want, and she's like back there yawning.
She's just so calm. It's like nothing. Day at the office.
Speaking of Salt Lake, I know that it was like such a disappointing end to your season. You guys were meant to, like, I had you guys winning the whole thing. And at the end of that playoff game, there was a shot of you walking off the court and you were really upset. And I'm just curious, like, what was going through your mind after that playoff game? Because I can understand as a competitor, you want to win, but, what were you thinking?
Honestly, I think I was just like in shock and just devastated. Like, we had worked so hard all season long, and I think we were so locked in and not necessarily looking ahead, but we knew what we were capable of, and we really believed that we could go to the finals and have the chance at, potentially winning and being first in the league in regular season and in the championship. And so I think to work so hard all season long, after a slow start, starting off 0-3, and then coming back, getting the number 1 seed, and then falling in that way was just like a dagger to the heart. And, it's just like you work so hard all season. It's like, it felt like this is not how it's supposed to end. And that, like, I went back in the locker room and I was just crying, and I was like, I couldn't believe it. I was like, this is not how it was supposed to go. And I think, that's obviously part of sports, and it leaves you with a motivation to come back again, even hungrier the next season. And so I think we learned a lot this season, and we're definitely going to take those lessons into, next season, and hopefully just continue building upon the foundation that we've really created.
How long are you processing something like that before you head to Team USA? Because you announced that you're going to be back this year for the VNL. So is it something that, you think about and you kind of compartmentalize and bring that aggression and excitement for the next season, like bring it back later? Or do you take that as motivation going into your Team USA practices and what's about to come this summer? Like, how does that work with you specifically?
Yeah. I had a week off before I had to come out to national team, and I definitely took that whole week and I was just like, I think there's, again, that like disbelief and sadness of like grieving the season. And we just had such an amazing team. And I got back to national team, and the first day I had a meeting with one of our coaches, and he was, asking me like, how are you feeling coming into, national team season in the summer, and how's your body and your mind and everything? And I was like, honestly, I'm pissed off, like, but in a good way. Like, I think to be able to take that frustration and sadness and use it as motivation, I think for me, that was the healthiest route. Like, I didn't want it to be something where I was like really down in the dumps. And like, of course, I'm going to allow myself to feel those emotions. But at the end of the day, it's like, how can I use this as a lesson and as motivation to come into national team season, start a new season. I'm playing with new girls, and I have goals. I want to make a run for LA. And so I really need to be locked in and ready to go for national team. And so I think, as unfortunate as it was to lose, I try to find the positives and spin it in a way where my mind can make it work for me, and just use it as motivation.
Yeah, like plays into what you talked about before, like the underdog mentality, or just use that for next year and for this national team.
Exactly.
So are you in LA now, or where are you for the national team?
Yes. Yep. I'm in LA now.
Nice. Yeah, we're so excited for you. So you were chosen to be on the national team. You want to make a run for the LA Olympics, of course, former Olympian, two-time Olympian. And now there's new girls on there. You've been on the Olympic team before. Does it feel like when you go back to that gym, like, oh, I'm back? Or does it feel like there's still tryouts and work to do? How does that feel going back to that gym?
It feels like a little bit of both. I would say this is definitely the first time where I feel like, okay, I'm a vet now. And like, I kind of know the ropes of how things operate, but at the same time, it's a new staff for me. And so getting to know them and forming those relationships, but it's weird because like, right when you walk back into that gym, it's like, I feel like, okay, I'm on, like it feels almost like an endless tryout. And I really love that about the USA gym. It's like you can't take days off. You have to show up and give 100% of whatever you have in the tank for that day. And I think it really forces you outside of your comfort zone. And I think that's where the growth happens. And so it's been really fun. I took last summer off. And so being back now and like back in this environment, there's a different kind of like competitive energy every day in the gym. And I love that. I think it's so much fun. And I'm just really excited to compete and really, I think, chase after this. Cause I never even though I feel like, okay, I'm a vet now, it's still not like I just never feel comfortable, like in a healthy way. But I feel like, okay, I still have to fight for a spot on every roster I want to make. And I think that like pressure in a sense is really good to feel. And I think it helps me grow as a person and as a player.
Like Lindsay said, and like you said, it's that underdog mentality that also I feel like that lights the fire in you to keep going and all that. But with the younger players, I'm actually like really interested in hearing your thoughts on the upcoming college graduates, because next year we get the VNLs here in the States and Canada, which is super exciting. Mm-hmm. And then the following summer, we're going to have LA 28. And then, so last year, as you know, Olivia Babcock and Logan Lednicki were the only two college players that were on the 40 woman, right? Team USA roster.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then now this year, it's like you're going to have all these women graduating, like Harper Murray, Bergen Riley, Andy Jackson, Olivia Babcock, like all an insane class. Mm-hmm. Are you excited? Like let me ask you this. Who are you excited to play with when these ladies graduate and get to come to Team USA?
I love watching Olivia Babcock play. I think she's just so fiery and passionate, and it's really cool to see what she's done with Pitt and like the success that she's had, and just like she's so incredibly talented and athletic. And so even though obviously like we're the same position, I think it'll be really fun to play in the same gym as her and, you know, just get to know her more. And I think just with all of the girls who are going to be graduating, it's really cool to get to be like a small part of the process and like share any information I have or like any wisdom or, you know, tips and tricks that you pick up along the way and help the transition from college to pro and national team, because it's such a different world. And I think there definitely is this adjustment period. Like, obviously I was not playing at one of the top necessarily college teams when I was at Cincinnati, but you know, even the top college teams are still, there's such a, I think, a difference in how volleyball works, I guess, and just like the way that it's played from college to pro. And so being able to share information quickly, because I think if you can have somebody who's like helping you out and giving you those tips and here's what to look out for and here's maybe how this might work or whatever, like you can learn a lot faster and the learning curve is just a little bit easier. And so I think I love being able to form those connections, and I'm really excited to see how their game continues to grow and just, you know, the future of the sport and of our national team. I think it's really bright.
I agree. I'm very excited.
I would love to see you and Olivia go like head to head. I mean, unbelievable. Two incredible talents.
Yeah.
I gotta also ask, so I know that you're very focused on volleyball, especially like even after your summer off, you're now like full steam ahead to LA 28, but there is a downtime in your life. So what do you do in your downtime? What is the Jordan Thompson like hobby or favorite thing to do when you're not playing volleyball?
I am a big antiquer. Like I love to go to antique shops and find like cool vintage like artwork and furniture. Whenever I moved to Houston, I had my own apartment for the first time that wasn't like an Airbnb where it was fully furnished. And so I got to really just dive into like my own personal style and like interior design and what I like. And I think it's something that I've always liked and been a little bit passionate about, but I never really had an outlet for it. And so now, it might be a little bit of a problem. Like I went to, this sick, vintage store in Brooklyn, New York. And I was like, I'm just going to go in there and look. Like I had seen it on TikTok. It was really cool. And I ended up buying like a bunch of stuff. I bought like a really cool Panther coffee table and this like faux bamboo mirror that was really huge. And anyways, I had to have it shipped from New York to Houston because I was like, I need these pieces. They're so cool and like one of a kind. But yeah, it might be like a little bit of a problem. And so I'm excited to actually go here in LA. I have a few places saved that I want to check out.
There's some good vintage. I'm from LA originally.
Oh, okay.
And so yeah, there's some good ones.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I'd love to get like a house tour when you're done. Like how I'm so in awe of people. I get overwhelmed sometimes.
Side Out Society cribs.
Yes. Yes. That would be so cool.
You got engaged. Tell us, can you tell us the engagement story?
Oh my gosh. It was actually so cute and just like perfect, I think, for me and Deshaun, my fiance. He had this, we were in Moscow. He had an away game there. He plays basketball in Russia. And so I was visiting over the holidays and he had this whole dinner planned. And I think it was like this kind of smaller restaurant that was a little bit difficult to get into. So one of his Russian teammates had called for us and made a reservation. And we get there and we had a hard time finding the restaurant because everything was written in Russian. And anyways, so we show up, we're like 20 minutes late to our reservation and we get there and they're like, nope, you can't come inside, come back tomorrow. And so Deshaun was like, what do you mean? Like we have a reservation and everything. And I was like, it's fine. Like, let's just, go to dinner somewhere else. I'm thinking it's just dinner. And it turns out he had like a photographer, candles, a whole little private area set up. Anyways, that all just fell through the cracks. And we ended up finding a different restaurant. And he had proposed in this one little like bar lobby area that was like, it was closed, so the lights were dimmed, and it was like super cute, just the two of us. And it was honestly perfect for me because I was like, I don't want people to be around. Like, I'm going to feel awkward. And so it was just us, and it was just really adorable. And I felt bad for him because he was so sad. He had tried so hard to play and everything. But it was really sweet. And I think it makes for a good story.
Oh, that is so
So sweet. And also poor guy, like going through all of that.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know about you, Lindsay, but I remember when I got engaged, like my husband, said something lovely, but I honestly don't remember what he said because I was just like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
No, Adam proposed and I was like, are you serious? Like, are you effing serious? I was so surprised. He was like, is that a yes? I was like, yeah, it's a yes.
I love that.
Gotta love engagement stories.
Yeah, no, we're so happy for you.
Yeah, we're so
thank
excited.
you.
Have you figured out when you want to get married with everything going on? I mean, like when do you find the time, especially with your husband playing professionally overseas?
Seriously.
Soon to be husband.
Yes. So his season is like 10 months long. And then with national team season, there's just like a very short period of time. So we're hoping for maybe sometime like end of July 2027. But we're actually meeting with the wedding planner next week to sort of get the ball rolling on things and sort of try to nail some things down. So
do you know where you would do it and Houston or somewhere else?
We're going to do it in Toronto. He's from there. And so we'll do it with his family, and then some of my family will come up. And so I'm excited.
That's so beautiful.
That's
Toronto in the summer. How special.
Yeah.
Congratulations. So
Thank
excited
you.
for you. I know we've taken up so much of your time and we really appreciate you taking the time to speak with us about all this amazing stuff. Your journey, your confidence, your mentality, your playing ability, your future in all regards. I want to ask one more like main question real quick. And then we do this little thing called the side out sprint where we ask just a few quick questions to get just some quick answers. But before we get to that, I just want to know, what is something that you wish people would ask you about that no one really asks you about?
Ooh, that's a really good question. Maybe just like, I mean, I guess people kind of are able to pick up on it, but just the, like who we are as people off the court and like what's important to us. And I think with our Houston team, we actually met with a sports psych, and he had us do an exercise where we had to sort of define our North Star. And it was basically like your life motto. And so I think you can learn a lot about somebody based on what's important to them or what is kind of leading them through life. And so I think, I don't know, like you get to know people through, watching them play and how passionate they are and, maybe their social media. But I think that kind of goes a little bit deeper, and it's really special to hear from athletes of like, okay, what is driving you? What's important to you? And for me, I think just my life motto has kind of been like lead with love, and like in whatever I do, like I want to love people well. And like at the end of the day, that's what I want to be known for. Like it's cool to, of course, be on all these amazing teams and win medals and everything. But at the end of the day, I really want to be remembered as someone who loved people well. And so I think that would be a really good question for people to ask, maybe different athletes or whatnot.
I love that. That's beautiful.
Thank you.
You want to do the side out sprint real quick, Lindsay, to wrap this up?
Sounds good.
Are you ready, Jordan?
I'm ready.
All right, I'll start. Your must-have beauty product.
Sunscreen.
Good one.
Yes.
I need to wear that more. What is a real ideal off day look for you? Are you busy or are you just rotting on the couch?
Rotting. Like maybe coffee shop, maybe vintage store, one antique store, but like mainly rotting on the couch.
What is your go-to coffee shop order?
Ooh, I love like a brown sugar latte or shaken espresso.
Oh, so good. What's one thing your teammates would roast you for?
Ooh, probably my dance moves.
Your dance moves.
Now I have to see. Now.
Yeah.
It's just embarrassing across the board.
You should have your teammates start a TikTok account of your like Jordan Thompson's dance moves. What is one thing you wish you knew about playing volleyball when you were in high school?
I mean, I think I kind of maybe knew about this idea, or like it was a natural thing I tried to do, but like just the power of being a good teammate. I think that's really been instilled in me as I've gotten further along in the sport. And when you can be really intentional with that, I think it's really powerful.
Like
That's
that.
special. What's one thing you really missed about the US while you were playing overseas?
Ooh, being on the same time zone as my friends and family. That, like, especially after like a hard day at practice or something, like being able to call your best friend and like it's not the middle of the night for her, it's great.
To go with your dance moves, what's your go-to pump-up song?
Ooh. Okay, one of our like, it's not like super appropriate, but one of our team songs that was just like our team pump-up song that I love is Shake It to the Max.
That's so good. That's appropriate in my mind. I love it. So I know you have some tattoos. Do you have a favorite tattoo, and what does it mean, or something that's really special to you?
I have two favorites. I have one tiny horse on my leg, and I just have always loved horses. And I feel like if I could be reincarnated as an animal, I'd want to be a horse. And then I also have a little fawn on my arm, and I feel like that's actually probably the animal that I would be reincarnated as. Just very like, I don't know. It's super, I feel like they're like giving, I don't know, like shy energy, which I'm not necessarily shy, but like if I'm getting to know someone, then maybe I'm a little bit shy and awkward. And I feel like that's kind of like Bambi energy.
Aw. The last one for me, what's your guilty pleasure TV show or movie?
Oh my gosh. Any like cheesy reality show. Like I love Selling Sunset. It's just like kind of like trash reality TV. Or like The Perfect Match on Netflix. Great. Just like something where you can throw it on and like mindlessly watch.
Awesome. Well, Jordan, thank you so much for your time. Like I said, everything that you shared with us is just amazing. And we're so excited and happy that we got to speak with you today. So thank you so much.
Thank you guys. Yeah, this
thanks,
was
Jordan.
awesome.
Good luck this summer in the
Yes.
national team. And we're so excited to watch.
We're so excited to watch.